Good afternoon, lovely Las Vegas evening. Lovely if you like 132 degree heat. But anyway, I digress. I am Bruce Williams, your boys high school basketball content writer, exposure scout, and some may say rankings expert. It's a great day for me today. Today, we are going to break down our top 10 players in our class of 2025 in the Boys Prep Hoops Nevada basketball rankings. I'm a big rankings guy. I love putting out the rankings. I know not everyone loves rankings, but I do. You can usually find me weighing in on some random obscure list, top 5 shooting guards under 6'2", top 20 shortstops from Philadelphia. I just love weighing in on rankings, so it's really, really fun for me that I have my own platform that I can discuss rankings. I know not everyone's going to agree with them, but I really, really love to do it. So before we get into the actual breakdown of the top 10, a couple of things. I want to answer some questions that I hear all the time. First, yes, I do have a formula. I have designed my own criteria of how I rank players, and it really comes in handy for me when I'm splitting hairs or I'm trying to separate, one or two guys who I think are really, really close together. So I do have my formula. No, I'm not sharing my formula with anyone. I worked hard on it. It's proprietary to me. It's something that I created, and it really helps me out. Other guys will have to come up with their own formula, as I'm sure they already have. Second, and one thing I want to say about this is, we joke a lot about the flack, and I see things all the time on social media, rankings don't matter, and blah, 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 and you think that you get a lot of pushback. But if I'm being honest, I actually don't get that much pushback. Every now and then someone will have their complaint, but I do believe that players and parents are a little more realistic than maybe the public perception is. With that said, I agree. Rankings really don't matter. At the end of the day, this is one person. In this case, it's my subjective opinion based on my aforementioned criteria, as well as some other things that I may see in a player. So just because I believe a player is ranked at this level does not mean that a college coach thinks the exact same thing. And at the end of the day, it's all relevant to if you can go on and play at another level, and if a college coach or university is willing to invest in you. Rankings help, they'll give you some additional exposure, but at the end of the day, they're not the end-all be-all. Enough with the preamble. Let's get to the action. First of all, before I break down my top 10, let's talk a little bit about the rankings. So this update of the Prep Hoops Nevada Class of 2025 rankings had a total of 118 players, which really speaks to the depth of the class. There were a lot of new additions in this class. I want to highlight some of them. First, Luke Robinson from Palo Verde, 6'5", 6'6", power forward. Got to see a lot of him in the Desert Rain League. Really, really physical kid, plays with a high motor, but you can spot Luke when he stretches the floor shooting his three. One of the highest arcing shooters I've seen in a long time. I think he'll be a really, really productive player for Palo this season. Next, Zion Gale. He makes his first appearance in the rankings in the class of 2025. And if Zion Gale goes on to become a scholarship athlete of some level, the story of his discovery is going to be a movie. A kid that hasn't played much organized basketball was discovered playing some pickup basketball by Coach Darius Banks. Shout out to state champion Coach Darius Banks over there at Losi. And he's really been working with them and trying to develop his basketball skill because he's got a lot of physical tools. So 6'5", athletic, good frame. He makes his first appearance in the Prep Hoops rankings. So I want to give a big shout out to him, Zion Gale. And then finally, one new addition that I want to talk about is my man Tyree Bruce, a 5'11" point guard from Cheyenne. Tyree makes his first appearance in the rankings, and I really, really loved watching his playmaking and passing ability, man. Bruce was a guy who can make the easy pass, but he also did a really, really good job of making some, highlight type dimes to teammates. So he earned a spot in the rankings. He comes in at number 63 in his first appearance in the rankings. So congratulations to all of those guys for making the rankings for the first time. Now let's talk a little stock risers. Had a lot of guys that rose their stock with their play during the spring and summer. Really, really happy for those guys. First and foremost, let's talk a little bit about Arborview combo guard Sebastian Knox. 6'1" combo from Arborview. Sebastian shot up to number 19 in the rankings. He was originally number 23. A lot of his rise had to do with his ability to defend as well as pass. Had a lot of good passing point guards in this class, something that you're starting not to see as much of in the high school game. So shout out to Sebastian Knox for raising his stock up a little bit. And then next we have Antonio Burns, who went from number 17, who shot up, his stock rose to number 15. Fearless driver. Really love the leadership that he brings. He's been a starter for Legacy since his freshman year. Really love his leadership, his speed, his quickness, as well as his outside shooting ability, which has gotten a little better each time. So shout out to those guys for working hard and raising their stock in the new updated rankings. We have some other stock risers as well, but they fell into the top 10, so I'm going to hold back, and we are going to discuss them when we break down the top 10. Real quick, don't forget, early message. You see I'm wearing the Prep Hoops Next. I've been super excited about middle school. I am scouring the nation looking for the next crop of big-time players. The Las Vegas Middle School Combine returns. The third annual combine will return November 5th. This year, I'm excited to say that unlike past years where we capped it at 20 players, we're opening this one up. We want to see as many talented prospects in the class of 2028, 2029, and 2030 in this event. So don't forget, you can go right now on Instagram, or you can email me at 7ounceballclub@gmail.com to pick up your registration link. Want to see as many talented prospects as I possibly can at this year's Las Vegas Middle School Combine. All right, enough. So without further ado, let's go into our top 10 and let's break down our top 10 players in this updated class of 2025 rankings. Coming in at number 10, Kevin Wilkins. Kevin Wilkins is a 6'5", small forward, shooting guard type. He's now playing at Bishop Gorman High School after transferring from Valley High School. Runs with Vegas Elite during the summertime. Shooter. Wilkins is one of the best snipers that we have in the state. I think that as he steadily improves the other areas of his game, look for him to be an intriguing scholarship athlete to a lot of coaches. Shooting is at a premium. He can already do that. Length is at a premium. He has that. He comes in at number 10 in our Prep Hoops Nevada class of 2025 updated rankings. Number 9. And I'm almost starting to feel bad for this guy because I'm putting a lot of pressure on him, but it's one of the top scorers we have in the state. Jalen Butler. My gut tells me and all my senses say, assuming he stays at Shadow Ridge, that he's going to have a monster scoring year this year. Butler is a 6'2" combo guard. I saw a lot of them during the Desert Rain League. To be honest with you, he made it look easy in his ability to put the ball in the bucket. He's starting to get some interest from some Division I schools as well. He's got the ability to shoot it, to create, and he's a decent athlete. So that's Jalen Butler, who comes in at number 9. Number 8, just saw this young man today in the gym putting in work. I love guys that continue to work on his game. It's Zach Abdallah. And number 1, Zach, don't kill me. I get it. He's no longer 5'11". Zach's at least closer to 6'1", 6'2". So I will make sure you get updated. My bad, Zach. You're working too hard to be listed under 6 feet right now. But he comes in at number 8. Just a terrific scorer. Better athlete than he gives credit for. He's another guy who I expect to be in the running for one of the top scorers in the state this year. That's number 8, Zach Abdallah. Now, coming in at number 7 was one of our biggest stock risers, Lonnie Bash Jr., 6'8" power forward, Modern East, and you can hear it in my voice. I just love this kid's grit. I love his grind. I love his physicality. I was sitting with a college coach at Section 7, and what they said to me is like, they don't know if he's polished, but they know he brings that physicality. Terrific rebounder. He's one of the best rebounders we have in the state. He's a bull in a china shop when he's on the interior. He's earned everything he's got, slowly climbing his way up the ranks. He's turned himself into a legitimate Division I power forward. That's Lonnie Bash Jr., who's going to be running with Modern East during his high school season, plays with PFB during his AAU circuit season. Coming in at number 6, my guy Mason Abbotton, 6'6" small forward. He's now going to be playing his basketball at Red Rock Academy. He runs with Prominent Elite during his grassroots season. One of the best scorers we have. Guy that can really shoot the basketball. Terrific athlete, gets to the rim. Look for Mason to fight to get into that top 5 with his ability to put up big numbers during the high school season. Now, coming in at number 5, Nicholas Cookie Monster Jefferson. Terrific two-way guard. He's a dog, and I really think that with all the moving and the shaking going on at Bishop Gorman, I really think that Jefferson's going to be a steadying influence to a team that's got a lot of turnover and that's had a lot of turnover this past year. 6'1", 6'2", pure point guard. He can handle it. He can defend his position. He does that at a high level against top competition. He comes in at number 5. That's Nick Jefferson. Now, coming in at number 4, Javon Yappy, 5'11" point guard. He'll also be playing at Red Rock Academy. He also runs with Vegas Elite during his grassroots season. Probably the best handle of anyone that we have in the state. He's got major wiggle, tough shot maker, can shoot it from deep. He can score the ball, but he can also break you down and create for others. That's our number 4 player, Javon Yappy. Coming in at number 3, and I know this one's going to be controversial, but at the end of the day, I got to call a spade a spade. Xavion Staten is 7 feet. He sprints the floor like a deer, and he has no problem dunking the basketball on your cabeza. Terrific player. His story is awesome. He's climbed from a guy that hadn't even played basketball a few years ago. Between his work with Coach Joe Bedowitz at Sierra Vista, Lamar Bigby and the Knicks, he's turned himself into not a possible D1 player, but a surefire D1 player with a chance to be an impact player at the Power 5 level. That's Xavion Stanton, comes in at number 3. Now number 2, CJ Shaw, 6'3" shooting guard from Mojave. Plays for Vegas Elite in the grassroots season, and let's be honest, it's CJ Shaw's world. We're just happy to be existing in it. Shaw is a winner. He's got a lot of other skills, man. He can get to the rim. He finishes well, but what I like about him the most is that he's got a ticker. Shaw continues to play no matter what the score is. He's the type of guy that gets better the tighter the game gets. Big shot maker, terrific player. He's getting looks now. He just picked up a UNLV offer. I know this town would go crazy if he was in a Rebels uniform. Terrific player. That CJ Shaw comes in at number 2 for the back-to-back 4A state champion Mojave Rattlers. And our number 1 player in the class of 2025 for our Prep Hoops Nevada updated rankings, Big T Bartlett. T is a terrific low post player, 6'10", 6'11", a massive human being with ballerina feet. He has good post moves. He can finish around the rim. He can turn over his left shoulder, finish with a little jump hook. He even can face you up, put it down one, get into your body and make it spin move and finish. He's a terrific player. Well-earned, well-deserved. He's our number 1 player in our Prep Hoops Nevada class of 2025. Well, let me know if there's anyone you think should be in that top 10. As always, you can go and find me at 7-Ounce B-Ball Club 1 on Twitter. Go to Bruce Prep Hoops on IG. Check out the Prep Hoops Nevada Facebook page. A lot of great information on there. And as always, if you cannot find me in those platforms, you can find me in the gym.